Okay, guys, we're going to talk about PSG versus Bayern Munich. So, PSG are at 2.40 decimal odds. They've got the majority of bets on them, something like 70% of bets on them at the moment. So, there's a lot of liability there for the bookies, but the bookies have got this wrong. They've got PSG wrong the last two games where they battered Atletico, I believe, 5-0 and Inter 4-0. So, the bookies, both times, thought it was going to be a tough game for them. PSG proved them wrong. We've seen PSG do really well in these international competitions, and they've been a solid team. Bayern haven't really been impressive, but here the bookies again are underestimating PSG. I don't really like going against the bookies. If you look at this line, they really want a draw, then they want Bayern, and then they want PSG. That's what they want. So if I'm looking at how the splits are read, I would say avoid PSG, but I've got to go with them. If I'm going to pick a side, I would go with PSG, just because they've looked the better team. They've demolished very good competition, and Bayern haven't looked that impressive, you know. Look at the Al Hilal game, very close game. You would expect Bayern to do a lot better. They've been underperforming, PSG have been overperforming. Now, in these competitions, you know, these European competitions where the teams aren't playing each other regularly, like in league football, where you've got a lot of data to go on, because the teams play each other multiple times a year, so you can see how they match up stylistically. In these situations, you have to be very careful, because the bookies don't really know what's going to happen. You know, they make a very educated guess, neither do we. That's where there can be opportunities. So if you bet PSG the last two times, you would be up a lot of money. And I think this is the same again. I think the bookies got it wrong, but I would not be surprised if they've got it correct and it ends up being a draw or Bayern win. But PSG at 2.40 decimal odds, that's kind of irresistible. You know, you can maybe play it draw no bet. I think you'd get like 1.70 if you want like a much safer play. But I would have to back PSG if I was going to pick a side here. If you're betting this game, good luck. Be careful with these. They are very hard to predict, but that's the way I would do it. Let's see what happens.